Okay, we're finishing up the second side of the T-block. Got one more pass to make after this. Now the other side, I took probably 10 passes, thinking I've got to be really careful about how much I take off. And I was going as slow as I went on this side, but this side, I thought, all right, well, let's see how the cutter does. You can see how much I've gotten cut. I've got just the tiniest bit to go. And that's just in 2 passes. Just going really slow, just like I was going with the others. So one more cut here. We'll flip her over, get the hole drilled, get it tapped, get it all assembled. So hang on, we'll be back. Give you guys an idea of how fast I'm going here. Really, really, really slow. We're about halfway done with that pass. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I just spent the last 2 minutes chitter-chattering about nothing. Okay, well, we got her milled. Now let's see if she fits. Like a glove. I like that. Right on. Okay. And you guys see, I'll blow the hole in this. That'll go in, this will tighten down, and that will situate that. It'll pull this up and lock these into place. So let's drill a hole and tap it. X marks the spot. As long as I've got this in the right place, should be good to go. I got shadows. Alright. We got her right in the middle. Deep hole so we can get our starter bit going in there. Let's get back over to the drill press. Hole number 1. Always remember to break your chip, back your drill off. After you get a curl going, back your drill off. Get rid of that chip. And let the drill bit do the work. Power through it. Run the risk of breaking the bit. If you break the bit low enough, you're going to be really sorry that you're trying to rush the job. Hole number 1. So now what we have to do is take this plate and get the bolt and get the drill guide index out to find out what size hole we need to have. So you guys give me a minute, I'm gonna get the chart out. Sorry, haha. Give me a minute, I'm gonna get the chart out, get that figured out, and I'll get back to you. Hang on. Alright, looking at my chart, I'm going to do a 3/8 16. Excuse me, I take it back. I'm doing a 5/16 18 right there. So I need a .2570 drill bit, or number F drill bit. So let me locate one of those and we'll get this hole drilled. Okay, .2570. Got right there. Let's see what that is in a fraction. 1/4 inch. I can do that. So let's get the bit in there and get this hole blown through. Alright, we got our 1/4 inch bit. Little dab of oil. Let's get her in. 1/4 you guys a little trick to make sure that when you're tapping, you are going perfectly straight through the hole. Let's get that bit out. Put your tap in your drill press. My drill press, my table drops when I've got it loose, so I make sure I tighten it up, and then by hand, start that tap. And you'll get to a point where it won't pull out. I was holding the arbor down, and just continue on around. Come back and break the chip. A little bit of oil. Just keep doing that. Just go right on down. Now it's actually pulling the vise up off the table. So I'm going to finish tapping this out. That's a way to get a tap perfectly perpendicular to your work. After we get this hole in, it's time to mount that tool post holder. Stay tuned. My bolt's a little on the long side, so I'm going to cut it down to length. And always remember, put a nut on before you cut. That way when you back the nut out, it'll straighten out the threads for you, and you won't have to worry about boogered up threads after you cut. And I'm using a new Lennox Metal Max 4.5 inch, which claims 1,000 plus cuts, 30 times longer wheel life than your standard fiber disc. No, I'm not endorsing them. I'm just putting this thing through its paces. So, let's cut this bolt. Might help if I plugged it in first, huh? Alright. Now we can cut the bolt. That did quite well. Quite well. I'll back that nut down a little more, clean that up, and then we're ready to assemble the tool post holder. Hang on. Anytime you're tapping a hole, you always want to have your drill guide so you know how big your hole needs to be in order to get a good solid tap. But another thing that's really handy is if you're using a bolt and you don't know what the bolt is, get a screw pitch gauge. It's got pitches from 40, and these are threads per inch, 40 threads per inch all the way down to 10 threads per inch. So these are really, really, really handy to have. In fact, I use this to make sure, to double check myself to make sure everything was right with this. So got a real good tight fit, and let's get her put together. Hang on. Okay, moment of truth. See if I made this right. See if she all clamps together the way she's supposed to and behaves. Slide in there. Tool holder on there, see how she locks in. Ah, that moved. A little tighter here then. I think I'm going to go ahead and call that a win. I want to over tighten that, the steel bolt going into that aluminum piece I made. Now I'm cleaning up this piece of brass here, so I'm going to go ahead and turn things on and see if this thing stays put. See what we got. Set up right for this, but for the testing purposes, it's actually making that tool rest work a little harder, and it's not moving. I'm only taking about 5/1000ths off a pass, but I'm moving through it pretty quick. Good enough for me. I don't know about you guys. I'm digging it. Welcome to the modern age. Slides right off. And I can use this side. Comes with a boring bar attachment. It locks it in good too. The only thing that I was concerned about was these are steel. They've got some heft to them, and this block's aluminum, but it is using steel pins, so locks in good. I'm happy with it. Rock on. Zipples up with the modern age. Alright, that's it guys. Project complete and success. Now we ought to be able to get a lot more done on this lathe a lot quicker. Later. Out.